Welcome to part 3 of our Parabolic SAR video series. In this video, we're going to take the indicator that we built in part 2 and we're going to turn that into a scan. Particularly, we'll be scanning for the buy and sell signals that we built as part of part 2. The whole idea here is to let ThinkOrSwim do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Now here's how I've laid out this video. It's quite simple. We'll spend most of this video morphing the indicator code to turn it into a scan, and it's quite simple. By the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of how to take almost any indicator and turn it into a ThinkOrSwim scan. After we turn this into a scan, we'll test our final 2 scans, the bullish and the bearish scans, to make sure we're seeing the results where we would expect. Now, after this video, in part 4, we're going to turn these buy and sell signals into a backtester, which allows us to test how effective they are on almost any market, any particular time frame. Now let's get started with this particular section in which we're going to take the indicator code and turn it into a scan. I'll start by coming into our ThinkOrSwim platform, and I'm going to open up our upper Parabolic SAR indicator. Now I'll copy all of the code that we have down to the buy signal formatting strategy, and I'm going to come inside of the scan tab here, and if you don't have any custom scripts, click add filter, then click study, and in this drop down, select custom. Custom study filters are only available in the live money version of ThinkOrSwim, so if you're trying to follow in paper trading, you won't be able to do so, and you'll need to be on the live money version. Now here I'm going to paste in all of our code, and we'll get an error which says exactly 1 plot expected. Now we start morphing our code. If we start from the very top here, we have our input variables. All of these can remain intact. We have our switch functions. These can remain intact as well. Our entire switch function, which determines where the SAR plots, the speed of the car, the state that we're in, all of that can remain intact. Now here, where we plot our SAR, Parabolic SAR, we can change that to a def value. As a result, we'll get an error for all of our formatting code. We can delete that code. Now if we come down, we'll see our sell signal and our buy signal plots, along with all of their formatting code. I'll delete the formatting code first. And we can also delete our chart bubble code since we don't need that inside of the scans. And if I move our plot sell signal to underneath our buy signal, now this code looks a little bit cleaner from the scan perspective. We can add a comment ahead of the sell signal, and that way we have only one plot variable inside of this entire scan. If I were to scroll up, you'll see that every other variable here is either an input variable or a def variable, or it's part of a switch function. This is the one plot variable that we have, the buy signal, which is what ThinkOrSwim is going to search for in our particular scan. Now, given that we don't really care about the plot choice for our scan, we can remove that, and now all we're left with is the downtrend exhausting variable. I'll repeat the same for our sell signal as well. And now if we run this scan on the daily time frame chart, and I'll run this inside of all weeklies, let's click scan and see what we're left with. We have 2 symbols, canopy growth and paramount. Let's take a look at canopy growth first, CGC. And if we take a look at the chart of CGC, we can in fact see our buy side arrow plotting, suggesting that we expect to see these parabolic SAR dots to reverse to the bullish side here. The next stock we had was Paramount Global, and we see the same idea here inside of Paramount Global. The green arrow is plotting, and this is exactly what our scan is searching for. Places where we think these parabolic SAR dots are likely to switch from the state.short to a state.long. Now let's repeat the same process, but this time, instead of our buy signal, let's scan for our sell signal instead. I'll click OK here, and I'll run the scan. Here we have three different results: Medical Properties Trust, another stock that we've been looking at for quite some time, C4 Therapeutics, and Coupang Inc., which is another stock which has been on our volatility scanner. Let's start with Medical Properties Trust here first, which has also hit its upper Fibonacci zones at $4.64. We talked about these when we built this entire Fibonacci sequence. And here, we're expecting our parabolic SAR dots to flip to the bearish side, the state dot short. After this, we had C4 Therapeutics. We see the same bearish signal here, suggesting we're looking for these dots to reverse. And finally, the last stock we had was Coupang. And if I load that in, you should notice the same red arrow. So through this very simple tutorial, we were able to go from our indicator code and morph that into scan code with two simple conditions, a buy signal and a sell signal condition, which we can turn on and off based off of what we're looking to scan. Now in our next video, we'll take all of this existing code and turn this into a more powerful backtester that lets us really evaluate how effective are any of these particular signals on whatever time frame chart you're looking at. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in part 4.